What if the most intense love you've ever felt was never really love? What if the connection that felt perfect, fast, and almost unreal was designed to pull you in? Love bombing is one of the most powerful and confusing experiences in modern relationships. Because it doesn't feel like manipulation, it feels like everything you've been waiting for. At the beginning, it feels incredible. Constant messages, deep conversations, compliments that feel personal and intense. You're different. I've never felt this before. I see my future with you. And all of this happens very fast. Faster than normal emotional bonding. Love bombing is a pattern designed not to build connection, but to create attachment. Humans are wired for connection. When someone gives us intense validation, our brain responds strongly. Dopamine increases, oxytocin increases. We feel seen, chosen, important. But here is the key problem. The speed is unnatural. Real connection builds over time. Love bombing skips that process. And when something develops too fast, it often has a purpose. After the intense phase, something shifts. The attention decreases, the consistency breaks. The warmth becomes unpredictable. And this is where confusion begins. You start asking, what changed? Did I do something wrong? How do I get that version of them back? And this is where the control begins. Because now, instead of evaluating them, you are trying to regain them. Psychologically, this creates what is called intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism seen in addiction. You don't get consistent reward, you get unpredictable reward. That makes the attachment stronger. You are no longer connected to the person, you are connected to the emotional pattern. Love bombing is not just intensity, it is strategy. Idealization is often the first stage. You are placed on a pedestal, you are seen as perfect, but this is not stable. No real person can maintain that image, so what happens next? Devaluation, small criticisms, emotional withdrawal, subtle distance. The same person who once made you feel special now makes you feel uncertain. This creates a powerful psychological loop. You chase the original feeling, and in that process, you lose clarity. Love bombing is not always conscious. Some people genuinely feel intense emotions early, but the difference is consistency. Healthy interest becomes stable, manipulative intensity becomes unstable. How do you recognize it? Not by the intensity, but by the speed and inconsistency. If someone pushes emotional closeness too quickly, talks about the future very early, overwhelms you with attention, then suddenly becomes distant, you are not seeing love. You are seeing a pattern, and it feels real. This is where Jung's perspective becomes powerful again. Projection. In love bombing, you are not only seeing the other person, you are also projecting your own desires, your need for connection, your vision of love, your ideal partner. The manipulator reflects that back to you, so you are not just falling for them, you are falling for your own projection. That is why it feels so strong. So how do you protect yourself? First, slow everything down. Real connection does not need urgency. Second, watch consistency. Not how they act at their best, but how they act over time. Third, separate words from behavior. Love bombing is rich in words, but weak in stable behavior. Fourth, stay grounded in your own life. Manipulation becomes stronger when someone becomes your emotional center too quickly, and most importantly, do not confuse intensity with compatibility, because the strongest relationships are not the fastest, they are the most stable. And the moment you start choosing stability over intensity, you stop being controlled by the pattern. Realize your power. Stay safe and trust the process of time. Thank you for watching.